Hi, so welcome back to my Hawaii videos. So this is going to be video number 3. This one's going to be a little bit different. After we left the big island in Hawaii, we went to Oahu. And so the first thing we did on Oahu was we visited Pearl Harbor. So I'm going to make Pearl Harbor its own video. It's a really special place, and I just kind of wanted to make that video all by itself. So we got to Oahu about 7:30 a.m. and we were going to be there till we didn't have to get back on the ship until 11 p.m. So we decided to rent a car on Oahu since we would be there all day and we could probably see more things that way. So got off the ship, we picked up our rental car at the airport, and then we went to Pearl Harbor. So Pearl Harbor, if you've never been, is part of the National Parks Service. So Pearl Harbor itself is free. So you can order tickets online ahead of time. I believe it's 60 days in advance of when you're going to be at Pearl Harbor. So you go online to recreation.gov and you can order your tickets and the time that you want to go. And this is just tickets for you to go on the ferry that takes you to the Arizona. Otherwise, you will have to stand in a standby line. And when we were there, it was very crowded and the standby line was very, very long. So I wasn't sure what time we were going to be there after we got off the ship and had to pick up our rental car. So I got tickets for 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. And you have to be there 10 minutes before the time on your ticket. So we did make it for the 9 a.m. So we used our 9 a.m. tickets. Then actually when we got back, there was a couple that we had seen a few times on our ship and they were waiting in the standby line. So I went ahead and gave them our 10 a.m. tickets. So they did get used. So make sure you plan ahead, get your tickets. They only cost $1. Like I said, they're free, but I don't know what the dollar is, a convenience fee or something to order them. When we were at Pearl Harbor, and as we were going on the ferry to take us to the Arizona, it's stressed quite a bit that this is a memorial, that this is the final resting place of many service people. So it was really stressed that this, to be reverent, to not be loud. So I just wanted to give you a few facts about Pearl Harbor, because while we were there touring around some of the things, it really shocked me that some people didn't really seem to have any idea what they were even viewing, what they were looking at. They didn't have any idea about Pearl Harbor. So it happened on December 7th, 1941, when the Japanese attacked Hawaii on their naval base. This attack killed 2,403 U.S. personnel and 68 civilians. There was 19 U.S. ships that were either destroyed or damaged, and that included 8 battleships. And half of the U.S. personnel that died at Pearl Harbor, half of those died on the Arizona. As you go out to take a look at the Arizona, the park ranger is very, very informative. I wish I would have videoed a little bit more what he talked about, but still today there is oil that leaks out of the Arizona, and they call it the tears of the Arizona, or black tears. They say that there's about 9 quarts a day of oil that still leaks out of the Arizona. So the 2 ships that are still sunk, that are still in the Oahu harbor there, is obviously the U.S. Arizona and then the U.S. Utah. So the Utah was hit by 2 torpedoes, which caused it to flood, and then it flipped upside down in the harbor, and the men that were inside were trapped inside of the Utah. So they say that there's 58 servicemen that died in the Utah. They were unable to get out of the Utah because it flipped upside down. Also, the attack on Pearl Harbor started at 7:55 a.m. and it lasted an hour and 15 minutes. So I hope that you enjoy this video, but I hope that also that maybe you maybe dig a little deeper into Pearl Harbor and see what happened there. Inform your kids. There was a girl and her mom at one of the models of the Arizona when Brian and I were looking at it, and a mom told the girl that this is the Arizona that is out there in the harbor, and the girl asked a question, and she was very serious. She said, well, how did the Arizona sink? And I just couldn't believe that she even asked that question. I think it's very important to remember Pearl Harbor and remember all of the service personnel that were killed that day. Good morning. We are in Honolulu today, Oahu. So today we're gonna go to Pearl Harbor to see the Arizona. We're also going to go to Diamond Head. We've rented a car today so we can drive wherever we want to. So after that, I'm not sure what we'll do, probably visit a beach, and we'll go from there. We'll see what we get into today.
We burn for 3.5 days at temperatures in excess of 1,200 degrees, even underwater. After the fires went out, our decks glowed red for 2 more days and the water above us boiled. This harbor was covered with 6 inches of oil, burning at temperatures in excess of 1,800 degrees. Yet the men on the far side, seeing what was happening here, got into wooden boats with gasoline engines and plowed into the inferno. And that morning, they embraced the original Coast Guard Life-Saving Service motto. And that motto reads, "You have to go out, you don't have to come back." And they went, and over half of them did not come back. Yet they kept coming until there was no one left to save. That's their story. How many ships are still on the bottom? 2. Us and the Utah. The Utah is located on the opposing side of Ford Island. This is Ford Island you see sitting here, directly even with us. About a week before the battle